Okay, so I started off by parting my hair on the top and on the sides. On the sides is about maybe a half an inch, and the very top is about an inch or inch and a half. And then on the side, that's the first braid. And then I'm going to do the second braid because I want to show you how I connect the braids in the back so that you won't have 10 braids or 9 braids hanging, but you'll just have one braid hanging. So as I'm braiding down, I then grab the first braid and put it into the second cornrow and then continue braiding down. This will cause your hair to be really, really flat. So as I continue braiding down, once I get, braided to about the back of my head, I then start twisting the hair. I only do that because I don't like to unravel. I prefer to unravel a twist versus a braid. It's not as tight, so then I start twisting the ends of my hair after doing the cornrow. So again, I'm just showing you right quick. That's the third braid. I connect now the other braid beside it and then continue braiding down. Now I'm going to start on the other side. I don't cornrow all the way across. I do the first 4 braids and then I go to the other side and do another 4 braids. And it's the same process, braid down and connect the braids. And as you can see, I have 4 cornrows on each side. So now I'm just doing the middle cornrow. And so what I'm going to do is begin cornrowing that particular middle braid. And then I'm going to connect the 2 braids that are hanging. So I connect the first one and then braid a little bit down and then connect the second one and then continue braiding down. And once again, when I get to the end of the cornrow, I start to twist it. And that's just my preference. You can braid it all the way down, but I just twist it because it's easier when it's time for takedown. And then I put a rubber band at the end. I didn't show that part. So now let's start with the front. Now I must say that this new method of individual crochet braids took me a little minute. But I started off with my edges. I did not want to use like edge controller or anything like that. And then it caked up. So I put just a little bit of moisturizer on my edges. And I started off with braiding my hair. And then when I got to the middle part of the braid, I started twisting just like I did with the cornrow. And again, this is just easier for takedown for me. So I add a little moisturizer, begin braiding. It's not a cornrow, they're just single braids, and then I twist it down. There's about 4 on each side of my head. 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. And then at the very top is going to be about 8 braids. So I'm going to part it, not down the middle, down the side, and then make 2 single braids from that part. So again, on the sides it's just 1 single braid, and then on the very top I have 2 rows, which just gives it a more natural look. And I do the same process, add the moisturizer and begin braiding. So this is it all done with the cornrows in the back and the single braids in the front. And so now let's begin the crochet method. I stick the crochet needle through the cornrow, attach the lock to the cornrow needle, close it, pull it through the cornrow, and then tighten. This is so simple. Like, I'm going to show you how I do it again. Push it through the cornrow, attach the lock onto the needle, close the latch, pull it through, and then tie a knot, 1 single knot. You don't want to tie it too tight because then it'll irritate your hair. But as you can see, when I pull it up, you can pull it up into a ponytail, so it's not going to be an issue at all. So you can wear it up. I'm just showing you a couple different angles of how to put the crochet in. Push it through the cornrow, pull it through, and then make 1 knot. The Locs actually has a loop on the top, so it makes it very easy for installation, and the loop is pretty big, so that's really good because you won't have to fight or force the lock through. You want to make sure that you get it at the very, very beginning of the cornrow, so that when you're all done, it looks like there's no difference between the cornrow and the single braids. Now again, this part with the individual braids took me a little minute. I don't know if it was because it was my first time, but just the front of my hair alone took about 45 minutes. The complete installation was about 2.5 hours with braids and the cornrows. That was 30 minutes installing the locks, but the very, very front part took about an hour. So I just push the latch through the braid and pull it through just like I did with the cornrow. But what I'm doing now is I'm feeding my hair through that lock. And so as I was doing it, I noticed that the hair was just unraveling on that part. Not the entire thing, but it was just unraveling a little bit. So it made it a little difficult to feed the hair through, but I managed. It just felt like it took forever to do it. I would never do my hair with all of, just individual braids. So this is just a close-up of how it looks. As you can see, you cannot even see the cornrow. It looks like I have individual locks all throughout my hair, and I do not. And this is the finished look with all the hair pulled to the front. I think it's very cute. I decided to use this as my cruise hairstyle, and I felt very island girlish. It was very cute. This is the 18 inches. I did install the 12-inch pack in the very front for the individual braids, and then the cornrows I use 18 inches, which gave it a little bit of layers. The hair was not extremely long, but it was a good length. And this is just a close-up of how the curls look. It lasted. It's great. I love it.